What's up, world? It's Ryan Bant again. It's been a very, very long time since I've been able to get online and chat with you guys directly. Obviously, you can tell that I've got a little bit of a different background. We've moved back into my old neighborhood where I used to live growing up as a high school kid. And my daughters are getting an opportunity to go to the same elementary school and run the same streets that I got to run when I was young. So I'm really pumped up about that, and my kids will be in my school district, and hopefully, if all things work out, I'll get to coach them somewhere down the line when they're a little bit older and all that kind of stuff. I thought with Thanksgiving coming up next week, it would be nice to kind of get ahead of things a little bit and kind of reach out to you guys and talk about 5 reasons for coaches to be thankful. And we're going to talk about the chance to develop leaders, making a real difference, creating relationships that last a lifetime, a chance to grow and improve in your own career, and to save lives and to make believers. As coaches, oftentimes I think that term comes with some respect and some gravitas, but I don't oftentimes think that everybody fully appreciates the level of influence in life that we can have. Recently, an athlete who's a professional athlete named Mary Kane came out and talked about a professional coach who was affiliated with a major shoe company, and talked about how terrible that coach was to her and how she was mistreated by that coach. And I think that it kind of made me think about the fact that we really need to get on here and talk about the good things that coaches do. Because anytime one of these stories comes out, it's always about the bad stories and the bad things and the horrible words or discussions or talks that the coaches have had, or the terrible things that coaches did to their athletes. And some of these things can be very, very serious and life-altering, but it can also be life-altering in a good way. Coaching is one of the few places where we have a career that we can tell young people no. We can tell young people the value of respect, diligence, grit, resiliency, and give them an opportunity to shepherd them to become leaders, to actually lead, to get their face out of their phone and to look people in the eye, to demand not only a bunch from themselves, but demand a ton from their teammates. Coaching is really the only place where that can still get done on a regular basis. Everywhere else, we're surrounded by what I would say the wimpification of society and the enabling society. And what's really scary about that is at some point when we face a very, very serious situation or something that requires us to have skills and to be tough and to take it on the chin and keep moving forward, we're going to have a population that just doesn't even know what that looks like. And leading a team and leading young adults who are your age might be the first time that young person as an athlete will ever have the chance to lead people. So when it comes time for them to lead their home, their family, to lead a fraternity, to lead a college team, to lead a business, to lead or manage a team at work, what skills have they been provided to know how to do that? You can't find that in a book by itself. Yes, books are helpful. Yes, coaches are helpful. Mentors are extremely helpful. But at the end of the day, you got to get pushed out of the nest and you either fly or you flop. How do we get that done? Getting those athletes to fly in life. Well, coaching allows us to do that. Coaching allows us to build leaders, to develop those people as young adults. It's the first time in the first place where you can tell somebody no. You can tell somebody you're genuinely proud of them. You can see that joy, and they know that you feel it as well. And that type of feeling, that type of accomplishment, that overcoming of difficulties, of challenges, meeting goals that you never thought you would be able to make is incredibly valuable for young people, because more often than not, they lean on those lessons in the arena of sport than they lean on the lessons in a classroom. I mean, let's be frank. How many lessons in a classroom did you really remember that really made a difference on your life versus the experiences of winning and losing, being challenged by someone in competition? I think you have the answer. All right. Number 2, you can make a real difference in some people's lives. You won't believe the things that will come back that you did as a coach, positive and negatively, that a lot of people are pretty unaware of. And what's interesting about that is that you can be more purposeful in that. You can be more direct in those things that a lot of you are. If you're not around all the time, if you're not available, if your door is not open to these young people, you're missing an opportunity to shape lives and to make a real difference. For many of these people, as a coach, you might be the only mother or father this person ever has. As a coach, you might be the only man or woman in their life that they've ever grown to trust. It's such a powerful position. They come to you not only to make them better at sport, but they come to you to make them better people. You have an opportunity to make a difference. Don't waste that. And realize that you're going to make mistakes and you're going to screw up. But as long as you're leading with your heart and covering your 6 with logic, you're going to be okay. You're going to grow. You're going to make a difference. And people are very open to that. As educators, we want the best in people. We want people to be successful. We want them to do well, more than in other parts of society, more in other places. So we have a chance to make a difference. Realize how important you are in those lives of those people and carry yourself in that way. Don't be dismissive. Don't be a jerk. Realize that those things that you do could be teaching them how to handle things later. Or they'll always think of you in a negative capacity. I don't want that to happen to any of you. So I want you to realize how powerful our position is and how much we can make a difference in people's lives. So for example, when it comes to the food thing, which has been talked about a lot in weight with women, obviously looking at me, you guys know I'm not a skinny guy. And if you've seen any of my videos, I'm a pretty big, heavy set dude. So for us, the best way we can mentor young people to make a difference in their life and to make good choices is talk about the things they can add to their diet. Talk about the things they can add to their life, not take away. My sport's the most important thing and you need to sacrifice everything from sleep to food to your friendships, to your relationships, to your boyfriend, to your girlfriend. No. Instead of trying to take things away to protect and control this person and manipulate them, make a difference in a positive way. Maybe help them be a better boyfriend or girlfriend or a father or a son or a daughter or a mother or a friend. You have such an important role in their life. Look at it that way. When we talk about food, what can we add to the food, right? Not what we can take away. Hey, why don't you just have a few more fruits and vegetables? Hey, you aren't eating meat. Probably important for you to have some meat if you're going to be an elite athlete. And I know, with the Netflix Game Changer and things like that, that might not be something people are comfortable talking about. But if people come to you asking you questions about food and diet, I think it's important that you're prepared for that conversation, because the words that you choose to use could be the difference in what that person decides to do. Same thing with, classes that people take, the sports that they want to be a part of. You can make a real difference. Personally, for me, I want my athletes to play multiple sports. I've wrote about that. I've talked about that. I've done videos on it. And it's not easy for me, because when I was a younger coach, I just wanted full bore, gun-ho year-round kids. But you can make a difference in people's lives by them having balance, by them making a difference in the community in which they're a part of. If they only do your sport, they're missing out on an opportunity from other great coaches and to be mentored by them. But also, if they're really great and one-of-a-kind people, isn't it a shame that you wouldn't share them with others? Make a difference in their life. You make a difference in many other people's lives. You might make a difference in their future husband or wife or teammate. You might make a difference in their future roommate in college's life, because you help them, mentor them, and teach them a lesson. One of the coolest things recently, a young lady, you guys know her if you pay attention to track at all, Jordan Hesse. Jordan Hesse just switched her coaches because obviously the coach she used to have, who was affiliated with a shoe company, just got suspended for 4 years. But that's not the important story with her. The important story with her is one of my athletes got to be her roommate for one night before the Foot Locker National Championship. And this athlete took the time out of her day to write my athlete, Diane Robinson, a wonderful, beautiful letter about accomplishing and reaching their goals, and how she wishes her great luck and enjoyed sharing the room with her and wishes her all the best as she moves forward into college. What a special person. Someone taught that kid how to be a good human being. And because she did that, Diane has done those things for other people on a regular basis. And I know that because she didn't do that as much beforehand. But then when she, had that experience, she's like, oh, that's something cool to do. When I won my first district title, and I talk about this all the time, I used to never shake anybody's hands. And I used to get really frustrated. This one coach used to beat me because he was a superior coach. And when I finally raised up the level of our program to be competitive, to win our first district title, who was the first person to come shake my hand? He was. And instantly that made a difference in my life, not only with how I treat coaches, but also how I treat other adults when something really good happens for them. I do my best to reach out and congratulate, thank them for what they do for our community and the kids that we work with, or whatever it may be. It's really important to understand you make a difference. Number 3, and this kind of builds into this, you create relationships that last a lifetime. As educators and as coaches, very few of us are ever going to be rich. It's just not going to happen. We're going to live a modest middle-class lifestyle in the United States, which is better than most. And it's a privilege to be able to be here and to serve. But realize you're going to measure your life and be thankful for your relationships. You'll be rich through relationships. That's how you're rich. That's how you're wealthy. When I die and when I pass, I want people to drink whiskey and wine over my casket and talk about all the good stories and funny banter-isms and things that I do or have done. But I also want to talk to them about how I want them to talk about how I made a difference. And I think all of you, whether they drink wine or whiskey over your casket, at the end of the day, if somebody saw you out at a restaurant, I think you'd rather them buy you food than spit in your food, And so these relationships can last a lifetime. And don't be afraid to let them last a lifetime. Don't be afraid to stay a part of these people's lives. Because again, you may be the only positive role model these people have ever come across. So understand that. And then what's really cool, some people who never knew or never thought they were going to be friends, they just happened to join the team on the same year, in the same day. And you as a coach get to be part of nurturing and fostering those friendships and relationships for a lifetime. Some of the kids that you introduce each other through your sport will end up standing up in each other's weddings, will be each other's godparents for their kids. Think about how cool that is. Think about the responsibility that you have to usher and to foster and to nurture those relationships through teamwork. Because many of those relationships have the possibility to be extraordinarily special. Number 4, coaching allows you the opportunity to improve. And what I mean by that is you have an opportunity to learn to be patient, to pause, to learn delayed gratification, to understand how over the long haul things have a way of working themselves out, to be gracious in defeat and humble in victory. It gives you a chance to grow and improve. My hope is, because of all the coaching I've done throughout my life, that it'll make me a better father to my kids and a more patient father and more understanding, because I've seen a lot of these things happen before. And then what I hope with that is that if you're also a classroom teacher, coaching will make you better. So if you're worried about, I don't have the time to coach, I don't have the chance to coach, trust me, you do. And if you want to do it, it will make you a better person. It'll make you a better educator. It'll make you more important in the lives of the people that you have in your classroom. And not to take anything away from a classroom teacher who doesn't coach. But the reality is that it's just a matter of frequency and time and interaction that you're going to get. And you're going to get plenty of that in addition to your educational experience as a coach. And it has an opportunity, like people who are organized in the classroom typically are organized coaches and vice versa. You have a situation or a troubled parent in a classroom, you probably dealt with it on the field or the court or on the track as a coach as well. And all of that makes you more competent and valuable to your school community. Because the reality is most of the time, the people who work on the extracurricular activities, they're the ones who lead the culture in the school. You set the table for how the school is going to behave, the expectations, the pride, the value that those people have while they're there. So take it on. Don't be afraid to take it on. Don't be afraid to do that, to take that extra time and participate in something as a coach in an extracurricular activity. It can only benefit you. It will make you better, and you will grow because of it. Last thing, probably the coolest thing about being a coach. You get to make believers. Not believers in you, believers in the kids in themselves. There are things that if you're a competent coach and you know your program and you know how to develop young people, that you're going to be able to promise to young people that they don't believe is possible. There is nothing more exciting than to do something where a kid doesn't believe it can be done, and they're the ones who make it happen. You just get to go along and kind of usher and guide a little bit, but they're the ones who get to navigate that process and end up becoming school record holder, champion, on the top 10 list in your school's history, run a PR, earn a college scholarship, become a captain, things that kids never thought they could do, become a leader, right? Become a big sister to someone, to be valued, to even be a college student. Maybe athletics is the thing that opens the door for them to take their studies more seriously. And don't forget, that's why we're in school, right? Is to get an education. So you got to make sure you take part of that, because some people have no vision of ever going to college or ever doing anything. It's like, I'm going to get a job, and that's going to be it. No. Let's go do something more. Even if it's not a 4-year college, well, what about a trade school? Oh, I don't think I can do that. Well, you told me you don't think you could run under 60 seconds to the 400, young lady, and now you can't. There's nothing you can't do. And when you can make a believer where a kid believes in their abilities, it's the most amazing thing ever. It doesn't always work out, and it's going to be the biggest challenge you're going to have as a coach, is for them to believe in themselves, their teammates, and you. And it doesn't always work out. You're going to lose. There are going to be some kids that are not going to buy into what you're doing. And that's okay too. They're the ones who probably will teach you the most on how to figure out the most difficult kid. And decades down the line, when you're about ready to retire your whistle, your stopwatch, your tape measure, whatever, you'll be able to share those tough stories in the ways that you worked around them for other coaches. So you get to be a coach of coaches, and you can make them believe they can do things they never thought they could. I was blessed a long time ago with about 3 or 4 mentors who gave me opportunities. Even though I struggled, they protected me, but demanded a lot from me as well, and told me that we're going to be able to do these things one day. You're going to be able to accomplish these things. Your kids are going to be able to do these performances, things I never thought could be done. But I was lucky, and they made believers out of me. You go make believers out of the people you work with, the kids you have the pleasure and privilege to train and to coach every day. It's a beautiful thing, and it's something to be thankful for. Peace out, guys.